Hello guys, and welcome to the latest Paul's Yard UK video. Here in the yard again, 1 year on with the Dacia Duster. Where the hell's that year gone? I don't know. It's been a busy year. This has been working hard. I've been working hard, yes, and it shows. We're going to go for a proper drive again in a minute. I'll give you a full roundup of what it's like having a Series 2 Dacia Duster. Has it been reliable? We might as well kick off with that side of it before we go for a drive. Here's a list of all the things I've had to do to it just in the year I've owned it. Nothing, not a penny. You weren't expecting. Oh, still got it. Used to be a left wing. Anyway, let's go for a drive and tell you all about the Dacia Duster. Well, welcome aboard the Series 2 Dacia Duster. Been trying to make this video for a while, but it's been a bit damp in the UK lately, so it's been really windy, so there's been no chance of filming, but we're taking a bit of time out of work today. So how's it been with this? Well, pleasantly surprised is probably the best way to put it. I was almost expecting something to go wrong with it, you know, which is probably not a bad starting point, really. You know, don't expect too much. But you know what? It's sort of having it for a year and stuff. You sort of realise that back in the day when I was growing up, I put a couple of pictures up of old cars I've owned. Some cars were crap. They really were. The build quality wasn't there. And technology's come on a long way, isn't it? So I don't know, are there any really bad cars anymore? I know there's some budget cars like this, but they're not as bad as they used to be. I mean, we've come on a long way, haven't we, over the past 3 or 4 decades, you know. Technology's come on, the build quality's there. So this is, you know, about as cheap a car as you're going to get out on the road at the moment. And there's obviously some Kia and Hyundais and stuff. Look, right outside of school, these cars parking. Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, the cheap cars these days, I just think they're better than what they were years ago. So I've had this for a year, as obviously the part of the video, and literally I've not spent a penny on it, just the tax and the usual, you know, petrol and stuff. I'll go through some of the likes and dislikes on it. There aren't many of either, really. It's just that, you know, it's a small compact SUV. It's just a compact little workhorse, and it's fulfilled our needs every single time. So we've got a little side hustle we do. We do a market once a month. We sell my wife's brother's curry sauces and stuff at a farmer's market. And there's a lot of equipment for that. I'll put a pop-up for that in a minute. We have a gazebo, all the tables, all the curry sauces and everything, and all the paraphernalia that goes with that. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, we have to take. And this does it. 'Cause it's just that bit bigger than a, you know, standard sort of saloon car. You just got that bit of height, and we've got the roof bars. And primarily this was bought for that sort of thing, for work, you know, for my furniture making business. Has it fulfilled that? Absolutely. As I said in my first video about this, let's hope this is successful as the first one, I've got to say. Oh, that has smashed it, but we'll get onto that in a minute as well. When we do a really big job, we just hire a brand new van. You know, these hire companies, they change their vans every, you know, 4 or 5 years. They rack up the miles and stuff like that. So just turn around in this pub here. This is the Weir pub in Walton-on-Thames where I live. We're not going in for a drink. Wouldn't mind though. Anyway, we've got to do this video. Let's just look at that. There we go. Reverse back here a second. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, when we're doing big jobs, we just hire a van. You know, it makes sense. You know, it makes sense. So the roof bars have come into play on nearly every job. The steps have come into play on every job, getting up there to put the cramps on them and the binders to hold them all down and stuff. So it's worked exactly as it needed to. I folded the front seat back forward exactly as I said in the first video. It's done everything. I've owned a lot of estate cars, so I know the sort of limitations. You're on a similar footprint to all of these things, really, unless you're buying something massive. And I mentioned, would that ULEZ happen? Because it was just on before. It was all about to happen, and it bloody did happen, didn't it? Yeah, it happened, that ULEZ expansion zone. So this has been going over there a lot for work and pleasure, you know, domestic and pleasure and all that sort of thing. Work and pleasure. I'll get it right in a minute. Work and play, right. So it's done everything it needed to do. I'm just trying to follow up on some of the comments. It was, as I say, it's my most successful video by miles, and I think it's because it's a brand, Dacia. You know, I think YouTube push it. They know that they can get it. It's a, you know, household name now, pretty much. So I think they use it for revenue, and it's gone over 150,000 views. And any, you know, I'm just doing this for a bit of fun. And any big YouTuber would be happy with that, wouldn't they? 150,000 views. We've gone over the 1,000 subscribers now. We're well over that, so we're going in the right direction. But if we can make a bit of popcorn money out of this, they make it harder and harder on YouTube. But we're digressing a little bit, but that's why you're on here watching. And as you can see, you know, I've just do it off of a phone. I've got a microphone now that makes the sound a bit better, hopefully. and this is just like, you know, layman's sort of guide to a Series 2 Dacia Duster. The touchscreen thing, I mentioned that before in my video, and a lot of people are on my side with that, and manufacturers are going back a little bit. They realise, what's the worst thing? You're driving, you're hot, you're cold, you just want to just physically touch the dials and just turn them on and off, not go to a touchscreen. You just want to reach, bump and do it, like you do with the lights. You just want it all in. A lot more things are getting automated now, aren't they? The wipers, the mirrors, everything now. But the heating control, you tend to still have to do that manually. You can set it to auto, but generally you just want to touch that, turn it on, off, you know. So I've noticed if you know, there's a massive YouTuber called Harry Metcalf, Harry's Garage and Harry's Farm. He gets to test drive the pucker cars, the real, you know, top of the league stuff, sports cars and all that in the main. And, you know, the sort of Range Rovers and BMWs, they're sort of top cars. And he's noticed that there's some more physical buttons coming back. They've realised they might have screwed up having these bloody dangerous menus. I know it's something, so some people said, yeah, you do get used to it, but it's still, for me, it's a massive distraction. So I'm quite happy that I've just got basic controls in here and a basic touchscreen, really. So that was one point to cover. It has been reliable, honestly, it has. Nothing's gone wrong for it's only a 5-year-old car, it shouldn't go wrong, but the build quality, I haven't found a problem with it, and I've battered this. I have not been really kind to it. I'll show you around. There's a couple of things I still haven't repaired, but I found out what caused them. You know, all the other reviews on this car, they go about the cheap plastics. Good, in my eyes, good that they're cheap plastics. I mean, cheap in that, you know, they're not soft, because they all do the scratch test, don't they, all that rubbish. What do you expect for, like, you know, 12 grand second-hand car with 25,000 miles on the clock? It's easy to wipe down. When it gets dusty, I just literally damp cloth, bucket of water, and away we go. You know, hoover it out, which I do, you know, a couple of times every sort of 4 or 5 months when it gets really bad, because we do clean it up and we have to go out in it now and again as a social car. We've got another couple of cars, but this is like the general dog's body. If we're going out and staying out, you know, going out for a drink, this is the car we'll leave, get an Uber back, and then go pick it up in the morning. You know, I'm not too fussed about it, but it's held up really well, I've got to say. It's really been interesting having reviews from all around the world and comments from all around the world from people, and overwhelmingly people were like, sort of backing me up with what I'm saying, which I wasn't sure if I was going to get like avalanche of people. They're crap, they're this, they're that, but I haven't had that, because I think people are getting wise to thinking, you know what. You remember years ago, people had a Range Rover, you went, oh, look at that, he's doing the work for yourself. Well, there's loads of people with money now, and a lot of it's all on finance anyway, so you see an overfinch Range Rover or something, you go, but that's gone wrong in it recently, and they do. People who own them defend them to hell, and it's fair enough, it's their money, their choice, but they do go wrong. They're the most stolen car, all those Porsches and everything. You're sitting in the same traffic as everyone else. It's great, you've done well for yourself, have one, but for 20 grand budget, I bought this and I bought a sports car, which you'll see in my other videos, the MGTF. So I bought both of them. That's got 15,000 miles on it. This has got 30-odd thousand miles on it, and both of them all wrapped up, all done, all lovely for 20 grand. So it depends what you want out of life. I didn't want anything too posh and plush. It'd only get battered, you know. This is meant to be like a workhorse van. So we're going to go for a bit more of a drive and just touch on a couple of things that I do like and don't like. Well, it's the first time I've left the pub, especially this pub, without having a drink. I just wanted somewhere quiet to do that waffle. So let's continue the waffle. So let's get back to the nuts and bolts of this. What do I think isn't great about it? Well, ready? When you change gear, it really hangs on to the revs like no other car I've ever had. And if you just use it in its regular mode, it's not overly economical. Some people have mentioned that. So I had it in just standard mode, and we'll do a close-up on the dashboard later on and drop in a few pictures on the top right corner. It has to stay in eco mode for me, especially for this local driving. I think it's because it's a slightly older Renault engine in there, 1.6. When I first got it, I was like, oh, it's a little bit juicy for a 1.6, and someone else had mentioned that they're a little bit juicy. But put it in the eco mode, it does rob the power a bit, and it was never a fast car to start with. I've just gone over a 20 mile an hour thing there. You know, wherever I go around here, I think the speed's reduced anyway. So that brings me on, why do you need a great big bloody 4 litre thing anymore? Because, you know, driving isn't what it was years ago. There's so much traffic on the road, it's all going on. There's more of these speed restrictions coming in, you know, just on local roads, and that's where I use it for mainly. So the eco mode on this has been absolutely fine for my needs. Yeah, you're not going to break any records, but those days are over. You used to have a burn and get away with it. That's the build quality, I haven't got an issue with that. There's nothing really going on with it. It's a new thing, obviously. You don't get spare wheels in many cars these days. You get this stupid foam stuff. That's the last thing you want if you've got a puncture on it, and it would happen on the motorway, wouldn't it? So I don't think I mentioned it in my first video. If I did, apologise if I'm repeating myself. But I went out and bought the cage that goes under the back, so you just access that via a bolt in the boot. And luckily enough, I had a space saver that was the right size, just from one of my other cars. So the cage was about 100 quid. I was like, what? It's madness. So I added that just for peace of mind, and if we're out and about, it just makes life easier. We're just going to pause the video there. So we're just going to recap on some of these things that I mentioned earlier on. This is what I like. Look at that, how neat and tidy is that, and how easy is that? You just bump, 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 everything on and off, you know. Simple and easy, 3 buttons and just these piano keys here. It works perfectly for me. As you can see on the dashboard there, we need to fill up with some juice. I haven't filled it up for weeks and weeks, but there's the eco thing at the top there, that's on. You've got the eco button there. If you get one of these, I'd put that on. The newer models have got different size engines now, so this is a Series 2, as I've said before, so I don't know if they've changed that. I think there's probably a turbo engine now, you know, little 1 litre thing. But yeah, there's your little touch screen there. We'll turn that off. Boom, Talk Sport. So there's all the simple radio stations there, bang. Okay, you got home. There we go. Can't have that on too long before we get a strike. But yeah, look, it's all held up pretty well. I'm just going to show you in the back what the problem is with the back seat. So there's one thing I never repaired, and it was these. You wouldn't get that on a more premium vehicle. See those there? And I knew that the lady before me had Isofix seats because all the paint's gone on them. So she's had 2 kids in the back of it, and I thought, oh, it's the kids kicking them. But they're probably too far away. My feeling is it's this. As the headrest comes down, look at this. That, if I've got it, this front seat, if I've got it further back, it catches that and wants to rip it off. So that's why I haven't bothered repairing them. But that's definitely a flaw. So if you're looking at these for a second, I want you to see what they're like, because I think it's the back seat that does it. So, but other than that, you know, look, and I'm not overly careful with it, I'm just saying, how's it held up? This has been used as a commercial vehicle. You know, nothing's really broken. You know, there's a few bits of marks there, but it's not even been cleaned. That'll probably just wipe off, you know. But generally, it's held up really well as a van. So another thing, are they well built? I think they are. So this is filmed on the West Molesey side of the Thames, not far from Hampton Court, and on the other side there you're looking at Hampton. If we follow the river upstream, we've got some sort of slum boat or something there, but if right in the distance there, if you went down there about a mile, you're at Hampton Court Palace. There we go. So we often come here in the Dacia Duster, which we park up there by the ice cream wagon, unload there and then put the car in the car park, but then we launch the boat here. So it's an all-rounder. Someone did ask what bars have I put on top. They are the 2-lay ones. I've gone for the quality ones with the low pack that grips onto the roof rails. I think the third one, they've actually got bars that release out and spin over across, so you don't need to buy the bars separately, but just double check, because it might be only on certain models that they do that. Another person said, oh, you use it for boating? Yeah, I did include the boat in my previous one. It says 2.7 metre long rib. So it's just a blow-up job, blow-up boat, but it's got several chambers on it, so if you puncture the outer one, it keeps going, and it's got an electric motor, and we live here right by the Thames. Well, we're going to head back to the yard now, so push the button, fill up with petrol. Let's head back to the yard, and I'm just going to walk you round to sort of conclude the video. I'm just going to walk you round the vehicle just to show, you know, the condition of it after a year. One careful owner, not. I think it's a comfortable ride. It's got big 16-inch alloys with big high profile tyres, none of those silly low profile things. You don't want them on the roads these days. I've hit the odd pothole in it, and it's, you know, not monster ones, but enough round here in Surrey. It's probably like where you live. They're everywhere. As he says, on one of the most beautiful, perfect, smooth roads. But generally they're everywhere, aren't they, on the side roads and everywhere. And I've always found this car really comfortable on long journeys, short journeys. You know, we've gone up north a few times in it, and it's been lovely, you know. You're probably thinking, God, he's wearing the rose-tinted glasses. It's still a Dacia. Well, that's all you need for what I need it for. And if you're sort of on a bit of a budget and you're using it for a bit of this, bit of that, you know, you can use this to take stuff down the dump. Picture going up there, does everything that a modern car should do, but without spending loads of wonga. I think I average about, when I'm running around like I'm doing like today, doing this video, I average about 35, 37 to the gallon, something like that, which isn't great, and that's in eco mode. Probably get 40 if I take it easy, but there's normally quite a lot of weight in this vehicle as well. And I didn't buy this with any idea of thinking about residual value. It was just going to be a workhorse. It won't owe me anything in 3 years' time. It'll be what it'll be. And I was thinking, where will we be in 3 years' time with vehicles? What's going to be going on? Are they going to crack the electric thing? Are they going to come up with renewable fuels? Is it going to change the whole, you know, landscape of motoring? You know, some whiz kid going to come up with something else? I don't think so. I don't think anything's going to happen anytime soon. That's why they pushed that petrol thing back to 2035 now. So I think these are here to stay for the foreseeable. But yeah, I think if I drive it really carefully, I could get 40 to the gallon in eco mode. But if I take it out now, the EQ button, if I press it off now, it's gone off. It's got about as much torque as a monk that's taken a silence of oath for the rest of his life or something. It's got hardly any torque. That's the only negative. If you're in the wrong gear, you'll know about it. So I'm going to go back into eco mode now, and it suppresses it. But again, for what I'm using it for, there's plenty of potholes again here. Look, let's find them. Yeah, doesn't mind them at all, and it's not smashing and banging around. You know, it's fine. Just had its MOT the other day as well, and I didn't really have a worry. I just checked the bulbs and everything like you do, and yeah, straight through. So it's just another thing. So we'll slot this somewhere amongst this Dacia video somewhere, I don't know where, but this is just another day in the life of my Series 2 Dacia. Off to work again, off to site, and it's not as high as the caddy van as I said before, but you've got the length in there, you fold the seat down, we've got the roof bars to use yet. Let's just flip round a second, hold on. There you go. So we'll get much more down the side there as well, and then we'll be on those steps in a minute and lasso in the backs of these wardrobes on top of there. Luckily all my work's very local, so yeah, but that's just typically what this car gets used for. Well, that's the wardrobe backs tied on there. We've got the Chinese torture coming up soon though. Luckily, this is only because I work locally, as I said before, within 4 or 5 miles of where I live. But these here, they go grrr, grrr. Oh my god, it's a brain seizure moment. Oh my god, it drives you absolute mad, like the Chinese torture with the old water on the head. You go over 30, but actually these are a good speed reducer, these. Go over 30, they drive you absolutely insane. Whee! There's those bonnet bulges I was telling you about. Make it feel bigger than what it is. Isn't it a nod to the past, a bit old fashioned? You don't see these much more of these days, actually pressed into the bonnet. With obviously the pipes coming in underneath. They're normally in this area now, aren't they? Because that looks a bit old fashioned now. Well, we're back in the yard after a little drive around the block, so to speak, down to the Thames and back. So I said I'd give you a proper sort of walk around the car now, just to see what this looks like. Nearly a 6-year-old car, and a year of me having me mittens on it. Let's have a little look. So there's the cage carrying the base over wheel. Okay, and obviously you've got access under there. There's the bolt to access it. Here's a little bit about the quality of it. It said, look, nothing's fastened there, it's just literally some underlay. Sounding in a bit of rug, but again, that doesn't bother me at all. Picked up a couple of marks there, but nothing major. Again, that was like a quite easy bit to replace if you're really fussy about it. It's obviously got the reverser sensors. The wheels are totally unmarked, and they're great because they're massively inset from these big tyres, so that helps. I've just left this in a down position. You can see, look, see that? That catches the back of them. That's a slight design flaw, I'd say. There you go, back up. So that's why they look like that. Okay, the rest of it's held up really well. I normally put blankets in it and stuff. Roof lining's all good. Again here, look, a couple of marks, but that'll probably all wipe off. And round here, the steps have been great. They've been well handy in here, look. You know, and this is it, I'm the second owner of this, so someone else had 2 kids in here and stuff, so again it's a little bit grubby, but other than that, come round here. I'm just sort of showing you this really, just so you can see how does the car hold up, you know, and it's fine, absolutely fine. Got the lovely lights. So this was the top of the range one, but there's different levels now you can get on the Series 3. That's the driver's side, where all the action is. You've got the old-fashioned Renault controls there, which I actually quite like. They're quite nicely positioned. Here you go. So that's after a year of me using it as a van. As I said earlier in the video, up there for thinking, down there for dancing. 20k gets you a workhorse and a bit of a weekend fun car. Well, I think we're about there, guys, on this. I think we're about there with the 1-year ownership of the Dacia Duster. It's been great, as you can probably pick up on. Please like and subscribe and share. I hope this does as well as my last video. I'm not going to put any music on it. It doesn't matter what I do. If I put music on it, I get a copyright claim, even though I do all the right things with it and put their name in the description. So if anyone's got any tips about using the UCut app, how to do it without getting a copyright claim, that would be handy, because I've not found a way of doing it even by putting it in the description. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like I say, I hope this is as the other video. We'll see, time will tell. But thanks for watching, guys, and watch out for the next video soon. Cheers, thanks, bye now.